Hey guys, crew of Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
Shane.
Rick.
I'm Calvin.
Aaron. Mystery on Mortis. Are we still on Mortis?
Yes.
We are.
You spawned right there, Eric.
Did I? Because I think that they're still
No,
doing stuff.
yeah, there was a little cliffhanger.
The last thing I wrote was Planet Mortis, so I think that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. Yeah, so the daughter
He's dead.
is dead. She gave up her life for Ahsoka. Ahsoka was bitten by the dark side.
She was married.
Her chains were broken. Yes. What else? What else happened?
We saw Qui-Gon.
We did.
Or did we?
We maybe.
That was the first episode, wasn't it?
We saw two Anakins.
They didn't come together. Huh?
We saw two Anakins.
Yeah.
Or
did we?
Okay.
Did we? Let's see. Obi-Wan has a blade with which he can control the sun.
Yes.
He can kill the sun.
Yeah.
It didn't seem very controlling. It seemed like, stab him.
It's very stabby.
You know?
It's like, do this or I'm gonna kill you.
The daughter said control, but yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like...
I have a gun. I can control it.
I think it's like the
To an
nuclear
extent,
option
right?
of control.
Oh, yeah. No, I get you. We had Evil Ahsoka. She hates being called Snips.
Yeah.
And then we had, obviously, the fight between the daughter and the son, and the son kind of won out with
Yeah.
the red lightning and stuff, so.
And the performance of Ashley Eckstein as Ahsoka was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Anyway.
As always.
Yep. So, where we're going to be next? Jar Jar episode, go.
Mortis.
Well, you want the bad news or the really bad news?
Well, let's try the bad news, laced with a little optimism.
We've got 2 cracked Shiloh pins, a busted power converter. The engine should be fired twice to dump debris, and the backup vents need charging.
Can it be fixed?
I can reroute the primary initiator, weld the dampening vents, and that might give us enough power to leave the atmosphere. After that, I have no guarantees she'll hold together.
We'll take our chances. Better than staying here. Anakin.
If I don't get the Father's blessing to leave, it'll haunt me forever.
He didn't have his blessing before, and you left. You tried.
Yeah. We tried, but now all this stuff
Now
happens.
there's more.
That's the equivalent of one of those fold-up electrical bicycles.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Forgive me, daughter. I am an old fool who believed he could control the future. Now, you are gone. And all is lost. It is my actions that have unleashed great danger on the universe. I must kill him.
But he's too powerful for you alone.
You should have kept the knife.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. The Force will decide.
I can help you.
Go. Ask, and you will know what to do.
You have grown strong and powerful, just as I imagined.
Master,
Do you believe you are the chosen one?
how can I know?
I can tell you what I believe. I believe you will bring balance to the Force. That you will face your demons and save the universe.
I don't understand.
Not far from here, there is a place which is strong on the dark side of the Force. You must go there.
And destroy the sun.
Remember your training, Anakin. Trust your instincts.
Well, as a Force Ghost, I think it'd be really specific.
Well, Obi-Wan's like Dagobah, Yoda.
Yeah.
He was his master for like an hour.
Might I suggest less sleeping and a little more work? Where's Anakin?
He came to me for guidance, but at the crossroad, only he can choose. The Force will be his guide now.
I don't like this. What have you done?
I have done nothing.
Where has he gone?
To the well of the dark side.
I don't know if I would just run my speeder into a volcano.
But there's a suit of armor down there, Shane.
How's he gonna get out?
Welcome.
I believe there has been a misunderstanding. We really don't have to be enemies.
You murdered your sister. The Force is out of balance. I have to stop you.
Deep within this planet exists a place where all that is dark is channeled.
And how do I get there?
You cannot interfere.
The way I see it, if we were not supposed to interfere, Ahsoka and I wouldn't be here in the first place. Look after the ship. I'm going to find Anakin.
There is no use for such crude implements here. I have a gift for you.
I've had enough of your trickery.
Oh, but you'll like this one, I promise. Know yourself.
Know what you will become.
Slime man.
The Force is strong.
Anakin, please!
You were my brother, Anakin!
Powerful Sith you will.
I hate you! No!
I will do such terrible things.
Yes. But it doesn't have to be that way. The choice is still yours to make.
You're like, is there a suit of armor down there? I was like, kinda.
There has been a change of plan. Sorry. You will not understand what I have to do to end the Clone War. You will try to stop me.
He's mine now.
Sucks, you're stuck in that hole.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Anakin has joined with the Sun. Do not engage him. Just do as I say. Listen to me. You have to disable the ship.
But I just finished putting it back together.
Ahsoka, please listen. We have to prevent Anakin and the Sun from leaving.
It takes its life.
Ahsoka.
Oh, damn.
I mean, he's made it so far already.
Nice job.
What took you so long?
Here. I did as you said.
It's like Batman.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne had to go all the way up.
Rescue Anakin.
I've seen what I become, and I cannot let that happen.
And for this you join him? Your destiny can change just as quickly as the love in one's heart can fade. If there is to be balance, what you have seen must be forgotten.
So cold. It's ironic, my sister. You were the only one I truly loved.
I love how the shadows match, like, where that little design is on the thing there.
Yeah.
Where am I?
I have brought you back to my monastery.
I don't remember.
I have erased that time. We shall never know.
Master!
I like the glowy floor.
That was good.
You know what you must do.
How quaint. my own personal send-off.
I ask you one last time. Do not leave, my son. I love you, my son.
Do you?
I held hope that you could resist the dark side. But I see now, there is no going back. No! What have you done? You and I are tied together, and your strength runs through me. This way, I take your power.
Please, don't die. And so you have betrayed me, Father.
You are the chosen one. You have brought balance to this world. But beware your heart.
Eagle's in here to rescue him.
Yeah.
All right, so
That was a Mortis arc.
Yes.
definitely one of the most talked about and theorized grouping of episodes in Clone Wars.
I can see why.
Because it's very like, what the hell am I watching? But it feels significant. But I don't know. You know, it's one of those things.
And
It's like,
is it real by the end of it? You know, like
Yeah.
was there a dream, like a collective dream?
Yeah.
Was it all real and they woke up from it?
Was it like a vision?
Because before, when they first started, they're there, Rex is there, and they're there, and they can't see each other,
and then they see the obelisk thing.
and it sucks them in.
Monolith,
Whatever.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the next time they talk to Rex's, they're waking up on their ship, and they're like, "Hey, you were off our scopes there for a second."
Yeah.
Like a second.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, so what happened?
Yeah.
And yeah, what are the repercussions? Like, it was a magnet and amplifier to the Force, so does it ripple out? Because now those things don't exist. Is the Force weaker?
Yeah, I mean, you know, with what the father was saying, like what happened here, you must do again. He's got to go out and do it again, you know,
Yeah.
or for the first time, you know.
Yeah.
He's got to let the good side of the Force die off. And then he has to kill what remains of the dark side.
Yeah.
So Anakin remembers everything except for the vision of the future?
They all remember.
They all
everything
remember,
except-
yeah, except for the vision of the future. Yeah.
Okay.
And
He said
technically,
the son broke the rules of time, and
Yeah.
he wasn't supposed to see the future, so he erased that from his memories.
yeah. I always loved the performances in this one, especially Matt Lanner.
Yeah, me too. Like in the animator, who like when the father was talking to him and
Yeah.
his eyes narrow,
Yeah.
you just really see the expression on his face. Even though like these are like wooden puppets,
But I thought
it's
Matt,
still great.
I thought Matt did especially well in the vision scene.
Yeah.
But Sam really kills it, I think. Like when his father kills himself, and he has that line like, "Father, please, it didn't have to be this way." Like the way he does it is so hurt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And the way he talks to his sister.
Yeah.
I like the way the father's like, I knew there was good in you. You know, like
Yeah.
after he's died, like the good of him comes out, being like, no, it shouldn't have been this way. Like
Yeah.
you were trying to kill him last episode. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the father just lied about, like, me killing myself takes away your power. Just so he could get him in a position for Anakin to backstab him.
Or to be
to be able to be stabbed.
to take his power, making him vulnerable to a lightsaber.
could have weakened him. I mean, they didn't seem to be threatened by lightsabers the entire series until at that moment. There's the only time one got stabbed. So maybe it did weaken him, or maybe it was a distraction,
Maybe the father,
or a mix of both.
yeah, maybe the father cutting off his own power, you know, makes the son not have that amazing force wielding ability that they have. You know.
So the son
And he's
didn't
a human
know
now.
that? Because the son was waiting for him to die.
Yeah.
Tried to kill him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the son just didn't know?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a choice that the father has to make.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. It has to be like this choice, like this clear choice in the mind. You know, I'm dying, and
because the father actually.
Because the father and the son was, I mean, the son and the daughter were supposed to remain after he died in balance too.
Yeah, and perhaps part of it could have been too, like maybe if the daughter would have been there, there'd have been somehow the power would have been split between the two of them.
Yeah.
But since there was only the one, maybe there always has to be two.
So he chose to die without passing it on.
Yeah, I mean, remember, like, whenever the Force was in balance, the father was at, not the height of his power, but in the first episode, Anakin, being that chosen one balance of the Force, could control those two. But when it being unbalanced, he had no ability to, The father kind of had to, like, use the last of all for one, to sever that connection.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's kind of like an ultimately just giving up, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, like, well, no one will win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said before, the reaction, like the knife is kind of the nuclear option to controlling someone.
Yeah. Kinda.
Nobody wins.
Yeah.
But everybody loses.
It's a very interesting set of episodes because like I said before, you feel like, oh man, I feel like I know some shit now. But then you think and you're like, I don't know anything.
Well, this just shows what's really cool is like when you watch the prequels, and this is like a prequel show, like everything George, like the stories he has in his head, like the idea of what the Force is to him, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
What
like,
do you mean?
Just how much in his mind he's expanded on the idea of the Force,
Sure,
and like the idea of these super powerful beings being out there. Like you can't put this shit in a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I both agree and disagree. Like I agree because I think that makes sense, but also that doesn't really say anything. Like there's no explanatory power of the Force within these episodes,
Yeah.
It's just, it's like a fairy tale about something that's real, almost.
Yeah.
It's
like an allegory
it's
of
a
what
story,
happens in the saga.
It's a story that needs interpreting, and then everyone
Yeah.
can interpret it differently and get their own answers from this.
Yeah, it's like Anakin just watched like a play or a pantomime about the events in which he's going to have to act, and at the end of the day, he doesn't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I think it best relates to like the story of the chosen one means different things for different people, and then how you interpret it of what the chosen one is supposed to do.
Yeah.
'Cause, like the Sith have a different thought than like the Jedi think, So
One thing that's interesting about the episode, it's kind of one of those episodes that are for the audience, because Anakin forgets some of the big stuff. Yeah, I mean, like the characters don't go through this crazy change as much as we do.
Well,
watching
it is implied that Obi-Wan and Ahsoka remember that Anakin gave in to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they could also just say, well, yeah.
So did Ahsoka.
But she got bit.
Yeah, maybe he got bit.
Maybe
too.
he got bit. A blue thing bit him. We don't know.
Yeah.
I like seeing Qui-Gon again. Like I think it's fun to see like the Qui-Gon spirit coming in as an entity trying to talk to him.
Although he's talking like, remember your training. Like, what training? You didn't give me any training.
He's been watching him, man.
Yeah, like the training he's currently that he gone through.
In Jedi training right now.
Yeah.
He knows what the Jedi should be learning.
And any Jedi master is referred to as master.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan once again, when he's talking to the father, he basically said, from my point of view, Ahsoka and and myself are here for a reason. So it's just kind of cool, like to bring that little beat up. That Obi-Wan always has his point of view and his reasons for doing things the way he wants to do them.
Yeah, Anakin does too. Episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that was supposed to echo what he says in episode 4. You know what I mean? Like Anakin enlightens him with like, oh, people have certain point of views. It's crazy.
This just reinforces like how easily manipulated Anakin is, which is a shame. Like I find it hard to get behind Anakin, like even in his heroic moments, because he just seems dumb in a way.
Sometimes. But also seeing that vision, you know what I mean?
Well, but seeing the vision, he immediately chose the dark side, which is what he was afraid of doing in the vision anyway. Like, he should have seen the vision and been like, oh, man, I need to get my shit together. Like, I need to live a different life, choose a different path.
Well, I imagine he showed him the parts that would help his agenda.
The other thing, too, is, he's seen him in the dark side, but what he's saying to him, too, is that, you you didn't join with me. If you join with me, we'll kill this Emperor who's behind a lot of this. We'll take out the Jedi. We'll stop all that.
Yeah, he said in war, corruption, and all suffering.
Yeah, we'll end it a different way than what would happen here.
I think what it's implying is that you didn't stop the Jedi in time, in a way, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, you going down the path of the light ultimately ended you in darkness, you know? Maybe if you start now with the darkness, things will change, and you'll be able to have all the good things that the Empire brought without all the bad, you know?
Yeah, he did say to Obi-Wan, like, it's the Jedi that causes this. However he worded it.
It's a Jedi that will stand in the way of peace. Yeah, I mean, so, like, to me, that... I think he definitely showed him the parts that would help his agenda. Didn't show him, like...
It's not all the future, it's specific
He selected little parts where it's like, all right, well, to get him to turn easier.
And he's, you know, you gotta think, too, he's...
in the well of the dark side as well, and I think that also implies that, like, it's more powerful when it's amplified, like, in that place on the planet.
See, I think one thing the episode does show pretty clearly is that it's not about being, like, the perfectly, you know, goody two-shoe Jedi that allows you to keep your essence. Because if you notice, the daughter did not disappear. The son didn't disappear, but the father, the balance, his body disappeared like Yoda and Obi-Wan and stuff, you know? So I think it's interesting. And, like, maybe seeing that, like, allows Anakin to see, like, you know, maybe making his decisions later. Like, it's not about just remaining only on the light, you know? It's that balance. So I had to have some darkness, too. But that seduces you pretty quick as well, you know? I think it's I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing that only the father of those 4 credible Force users, his body disappeared.
No, yeah.
What do you guys think about the world that they were in, the Mortis?
Mortis?
Kind of weird. Like, was it a construction of the father's so that he could keep his children there, or was it something that the Force created so that he could contain them there? Like, where was the agency in that? You know, chicken or the egg? Where did it start?
Like, in some ways, it was fantastical, like the rocks floating things. But in other ways, it wasn't all that special to me, really. Like, it had a bunch of different, like, weather effects and things, but it was just barren and empty. Like, there wasn't really much to look at, necessarily.
Yeah, for me, honestly, it almost feels like a facade, like something not real.
Yeah.
Done purposely, I think, you know? Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, you have these crazy towers. What's the point of a tower when you have nothing to lord over? You know? Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like some of the decisions with, like, the... like, I love the floating rocks and, like, the crystal on the top. And, like, how they fall when the Force has been, like... The creatures, you know, that were inhabiting this have been destroyed.
Sure.
Yeah.
The same thing with, like, the... I love, like, the glowy lines that are in his, like, monastery place. And then, like, once the Force is gone, they fade away as well. I like that a lot. And I saw the wolf.
You saw the wolf?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the wolf when I watched before, but, like, in the background... Dave Filoni loves wolves.
Yeah.
It's like in the background, there's, like, a star.
There's a constellation that's formed like a wolf.
Yeah, it looks like a wolf. It's really cool.
That's why his favorite clone commander is Commander Wolf of Wolf Squadron.
He just likes wolves.
That's the thing. I love the delivery of Matt Lanner when he's like, I will do such terrible things. He matched that pretty perfectly. You know, it's weird, like, you know, much in the way that, you know, Kevin Conroy is my Batman when I read comics. I almost hear Matt Lanner more than I do Hayden these days, like when I think of Anakin.
Yeah.
But that was a great performance.
There's a lot more of them.
A lot more of them.
Yeah. I almost say the same thing about Obi-Wan as well. Just because there's so much more of them. It's just hard not to. You know what I mean?
True.
Thank God we're going to have more Ewan, though, here soon.
If you want a Ewan McGregor, but he's voiced over by...
Well, I mean, it's just like... Not when I watch it, like this is one character, and they're made to be one character. But, like, in my head, when I'm thinking of Obi-Wan, I kind of think of this a little bit, you know?
Anakin? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine, like, a Ewan McGregor talking, but you hear James Arnold Taylor's voice.
Well, they're more alike, I think, than Hayden.
Yeah, I think they are more similar.
Yeah, because he's doing a Ewan
impression. Kind of thing.
If it was... Like, I think it would have been a better allegory if somehow Anakin had killed all 3 of them. Because he kills Padme, which is kind of his connection to the light side.
Yeah.
And then he kills the Emperor at the end, which I guess would be the son. I'm not sure who the dad represents.
I mean, he did kill the Jedi, if you think of that.
Yeah, he killed all of them. Killed all those little kids.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So, but in here,
being representative as a single.
The son is the one that killed, like the daughter.
Yeah.
I think it just would have been a better allegory if Anakin had done all of it.
Well, I think the allegory isn't necessarily that Padme would be the light. I think she would be what the father was talking about at the very end.
Beware of
your heart. He's like, you can do this, but beware your heart. Which, that's not about the Force, that's about love, you know?
She's like the trigger of it all.
I feel like she is more the father than the light side.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's what's keeping him in balance, and when she's gone, you know, that's what he believes.
I think a lot of it, what you gotta look at is the father is Anakin. A lot of it, like the father wants to be replaced by Anakin as the chosen one.
He's the balance
to keep the balance there. So a lot of things that the father's doing, you gotta look at is like also maybe that's what Anakin's doing. So when the father kills himself to take out the dark side, you know, Anakin eventually sacrifices himself by killing the Emperor, and it destroys him.
By backstabbing somebody that he's supposed to be loyal to.
And he dies. Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. And he betrayed his son to kill the son, you know? So that kind of relates to what you see in Episode 6 with that. And then I guess you kind of look at the light side like, you know, sacrificing themselves. That's exactly what the Jedi do and everything. But, I mean, it's because of the father that, like, the Jedi Obi-Wan, a lot of them are trying to protect Anakin. And in that, they kind of undo themselves in a way, you know? Like, Obi-Wan's always for Anakin, and he's helped him to grow up and be a Jedi. Where they're like, no, we probably shouldn't train him. So, like, a lot of the Jedi are trying to protect Anakin and make him the chosen one, and that kind of becomes their downfall in a way. Because then he does some bad things and helps the Emperor come to...
So you're saying the daughter is Mace Windu?
Or Obi-Wan, or the Jedi in general, you know?
I've listened to podcasts where I've heard all kinds of theories on it.
That's the thing. I mean, it's so non-descriptive that you can just fit in all these things. We'll be watching episodes later and being like, you know, Mortis. And it got to the point where a lot of people are like, Mortis. You know, like, you can just fit so many different things into these episodes. And I think that was kind of on purpose. Because they don't want it to be, you know, they don't want to describe the story of Star Wars with this, you know. This is just George Lucas being like, got an idea. And Dave Filoni being like, all right, let's try it, you know. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Can I put a wolf in it, though?
Yeah. So they want to be vague here, but they want to explain the Force with midichlorians.
You just don't understand midichlorians, once again. By that statement alone, just proves that you have no idea what you're talking about. That it explains the Force. Poor Rick. Poor Rick. What else?
Oh, well, I think like a fairy tale, like this is because it's fantastical. It's like it's more fun to be kind of vague for things like this. When you're talking to a little kid, and you know what I mean, like Qui-Gon's talking to Anakin. You know what I mean? I think you use like a really simple thing, and you're also describing a big great thing simply to a kid and also to the audience as well. Just one way how the Force works, which is something that's been in there since the very beginning.
Yeah.
You know, he always had in mind, you know, with the blood and family and being passed on and being powerful in my family. And I imagine the Jedi, with all their technology at the High Republic, would be able to figure out a way to measure it, you know, to find students, unlike, you know, because we all knew Han couldn't be trained in the Force. He didn't have it. It's always something that's been in the blood. So I think Episode 1 just explains it better. You know what I mean? I don't think you need to be vague with that. You know what I mean? Unless you want to look at it as like this mystical religion. You know what I'm saying?
That anyone can use.
Yeah,
as long as they believe.
And that's cool, but it's just, that's never been the idea. If that was anyone's idea, it was misinterpretation. You know what I mean? Or they...
That's why in the original trilogy, like, it's very important.
Or you just saw Episode 4.
That's why in the original trilogy it's very important that you have, like, you know, Anakin has it, and Luke Skywalker, the son, has it, and the daughter has it. And it's not like, well, Chewie can do it, and R2 can do it. And
well, the Force is strong in my family. I think it describes it all very well.
Kind of, it's a bloodline-y kind of thing. It's just like, well, why is it a bloodline thing? Well, midichlorians.
What about that one Force-sensitive droid?
Yeah, that's not real anyway.
What'd you say?
What about that one Force-sensitive
droid? One thing I thought was kind of cool, in the original script when they were doing this, apparently, the son was like... he was kind of influenced and mentored by Bane and Revan, which I thought was like, well, that was an interesting idea. I wonder how they had that like flow into it, and it also would have given canon to those characters had they had done that.
You know, like, talking about like the script or Sam's performance.
No, the original
about the script.
The original script. I was reading it on like IMDb or I don't know, a website somewhere, and it was saying that like in the original script format that they had, the idea was that like Bane and Revan were influencing / mentoring the sun,
Yeah.
and, like, his ideals. And
it was going to be
thoughts.
that because they were in the well of the Force, and the sun is kind of like the dark side. Then great dark siders of the past, like the galaxy, is kind of interloping into Mortis, and it was going to be Bane and Revan.
So he would be getting ideas from them, like talking to them. I imagine it kind of like...
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
I imagine it kind of like whenever Darth Vader's talking to the giant Emperor head, he would be there talking to them, and they would be like there.
Well, it was also... This was George Lucas's idea, actually, Bane and Revan. Because, I mean, he knew people loved Revan so much, and he was trying to think, like, all right, what are some Darksiders that I could have that people would know? And it was actually Dave Filoni who said no. And George was like, why? And he's like, well, Darksiders should not be able to retain any consciousness after death. And George is like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'd forgive it here, maybe, because it's because of where
It's
they are.
on Mortis. It's the same thing why Qui-Gon is being able to be seen versus just being heard.
Yeah, I'd forgive it
and
here.
he's so clear.
But I get why Dave said it wasn't a good idea. It'd be cool if we had like a holocron or something.
See, with that though, I would have loved it to be Bane, but Revan I very much view as kind of very gray Jedi-like. Not necessarily light side, not really dark side, like kind of in that middle point. So I kind of wouldn't have liked him to be like mentoring this dark, like sun force user guy, unless it was like a, you know, trying to kind of tempt him in like a middle ground rather than super dark, you know? It depends, I guess, what he would say.
Yeah.
They got so close that they actually made models, and the model for Bane was the old look from the comics with that kind of like cage thing he has, because he has the armor that grows over all of his whole body.
Oh, there's obelisks.
He's got to keep it away from his face, so he had this like kind of cage. And it's funny because that model or that comic actually was referencing a fan who just created this outfit due to just like a description in a book or something. He made it the look of it. And then that got used as like a comic.
And the comic got used.
And the comic was used for that. So it was like, hey, a fan almost, his design almost was made it into the Clone Wars.
And Drew,
cosplay. It's pretty cool.
And it's cool because Drew Crispin or whatever, Propitian, he explained like the armor of these obelisks that it's this parasite that grows off your body and eventually kills you. It becomes your face. Which is really cool, but then he put that cage on there to stop it. Yeah. And so it's just super armor.
That was an idea far before his book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't incept that. That was the old Jedi vs. Sith comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He just came in and contoured it up a bit. Yeah. So, anyway. But, legends.
Yeah. And another
That's
cool
all fake,
idea.
just like that robot droid force user thing.
That was visionary.
Yeah. Well, there's also the idea, and it's talked about several times throughout all the different movies and shows and books, like the idea of like Anakin will do something. He'll do almost anything if it will result in the end in peace. And here he straight up asks, will we bring peace if we do this? And he said, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like Palpatine tells him when he turns, like, we do this and we will have peace. And it's also in like the books, and some might be legends now. But the idea that like he will do anything, he'll do some shitty things if the end result is...
I wonder if had he gotten out of here in his dark form kind of thing, you know, say it's all real. He gets out of there, he has that dark vision, he has the sun with him and stuff. Does he kill the Jedi? Does he kill Padme? What's his vision whenever... What's his view of it when he sees Padme? You know?
I don't imagine he kills Padme. I imagine he uses his power to... I don't know. At the same time, he's being used by the sun. Just like
Padme's not going to stand for like killing off the Jedi and killing off all the... You know, like... So I'm curious on like what happens there, but obviously, you know, if it doesn't happen. So,
yeah, I've always been under the belief that the only reason Anakin's still a Jedi after he marries Padme is that, well, we can't leave now. It's the Clone War. Once we end the Clone War, then we can, you know, Padme's not going to leave the Senate while it's all this like this.
While there's a war going on.
So once peace and corruption is taken care of, suffering is taken care of, then I can be happy with my wife. You know?
Yeah, in the original screenplay, that like the book is based off of, like George talked about, like Anakin wanting to leave the Order. You know what I mean, to go have their child somewhere else. But yeah, like he couldn't leave right now. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably consistent with what George was thinking.
I think that's very present in current Star Wars.
Yeah.
That idea. It's just like, well, you have your responsibilities. You're a Jedi. I'm a senator. Those kind of things. You know, we can't do that. And they're like, well, maybe we can. We just got to end this Clone War thing first. You know?
Yeah.
And once that happens, it'll all work out.
Right. Any other thoughts from you guys on Mortis things? Overall thoughts or anything?
Nope.
I always feel like sometimes this stuff happens and like we're like this and this and this and this and this and you guys are like, huh.
I mean, it's just...
It's a lot to digest.
Pretty crazy.
Like, I had a lot of questions for the first episode. I don't feel like these last couple have added that much more than the first one did.
Yeah.
Like, just the mystery of the place and the people there. Like, we saw them a little more, and it's resolved now, but...
Yeah.
You still don't know if it's real or where it's from or who they are, kind of thing.
So, yeah, no, I'm ready to move on to whatever the next thing is. Maybe finally see Darth Maul.
Every time I see that Darth Sidious is played by Ian Abercrombie, I think of him eating a Snicker on Seinfeld.
That's him?
That's him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that?
No.
That's
Yeah.
him.
That's great.
He's amazing.
Mr. Pitt?
Yeah.
Mr. Pitt. Yeah.
Ian Abercrombie. He's since passed away, but he is a fantastic Palpatine Sidious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every time I think of that.
Yeah.
All right.
What's he eat it with a fork and a knife?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to not miss any of these Clone Wars series, or we're doing Resistance right now, and there's more Clone Wars coming, new stuff, we're going to cover that. Subscribe so you don't miss out on it. And you can see next week's Clone Wars episode already over at Early Access for patreon.com/blindwave.
Mandalorian November.
Website. And yeah, Mandalorian. Lots of Star Wars stuff coming. Review for episode 9. It's all over the place. Star Wars. Stay here.